Belal Muhammad says he's fueled with hatred for Leon Edwards. Belal is pissed off that Leon downplays his accomplishments and says that he doesn't deserve the title shot. Speaking to Middle Easy, Belal said, "I hate his guts. The last fighter that I fought that I had a dislike for was Sean Brady, and that's just because he was talking all this trash. And one of those things where I'm like, bro, I don't even know you, but you're acting like you're something else." With the Leon fight, they're trying to avoid me, him trying to downplay my accomplishments and telling me I don't deserve it. I never earned it. That does nothing but piss me off. It's fueling me with hatred for this guy, and I just can't wait to get in there and get my hands on him. My last 4 or 5 fights have been against guys that were so nice. Damian Maia, Wonderboy, Luque. They're all nice guys. Obviously getting extra motivation to fight guys that you dislike. It's easier to wake up every day. For Leon Edwards, I've been training for this guy for 2 years. My prime focus has been on him. I haven't been thinking about anyone but him. When I go in there and walk through him, he's going to go back to irrelevancy, and no one's going to think about him anymore. Renato Moicano says that he has zero interest in fighting Max Holloway because Max would beat him up. He, however, says that if the UFC did offer it, he would be honored.
So, I saw a lot of comments, people asking me, do you want to fight Max Holloway? Hell no, my brother. I don't want to fight Max Holloway. I'm good. Max Holloway would beat me up. But being serious, if they offer me the fight, of course I would get the fight. It would be an honor to fight Max Holloway. But it's tough. We have to be real. We are not on the same level. I'm still chasing the gold. I'm still chasing. I'm trying to step up and fight the best of the division. But let's be honest, Max Holloway is already a legend, former champion, one of the best champions in the UFC. I have to fight somebody like Dariush or Paddy Pimblett. That's the fight to make. That's the real thing to do. Of course, it will be an honor to fight Max Holloway, but like I say, that's not happening. So I like to watch and see what he's going to do next.
Aljamain Sterling discusses how much better he felt fighting Calvin Kattar at featherweight. Aljo, however, reveals that he was extremely nervous for the fight and just kept a poker face.
I felt like my energy level was better. My strength was better at 45. My rehydration was better. Fight day, I felt better. Like, yeah, I was in the back room. I was so nervous, and I don't think anyone was able to read it, but I had the craziest poker face. But I just needed a moment of clarity and some moments to myself where I could just reassure myself, like, hey, man, if things don't go your way, we're just going to hang them up. At no point or worth it for me to stick around after I've made my nut. I've accomplished what I want to accomplish in this sport already. We gave it a good run. But I told myself, whatever you do, you are going to fight your freaking balls off the entire time, and you will not quit on yourself. And that was here for me, you know. So with that said, it was the most nervous I've ever been in the back room before any fight, and for rightful reasons. Like I said, look at the fights that Calvin's had, man. He's put some beat downs on some people, and he's willing to go there. I just felt like he was very frustrated. He didn't have money options. I know his takedown percentage was extremely high, but I think I did a pretty good job of doing my homework, staying dialed in, and a lot of the stuff that we saw on the tape, we were able to capitalize on that in training and make the most out of it, and that was able to transition and translate into the fight. And I think that's the new way people need to start training, not just going to like team practices. You need to be doing specific work, being selfish when you need to be selfish, and when it's time for you to return the favor for your training partners, you got to do that, man.
Chris Weidman says that he wants a big name for his next opponent. Chris says that he wants a fun fight and an opponent that people know.
Any idea? An opponent next?
I think I want like a big name. You know, I went with the Bruno Silva, not a big name. You know, I think it's time to like step up, have a fun fight that, you know, people want to see and people know me and him. You know, a lot of people, you know, Bruno Silva, they didn't really know his name. And I didn't deserve to, you know, I had no right to pick my opponents or anything like that. Not that I'm going to be able to really pick my opponents, but if it was up to me, I would have a bigger name, a fight that means a little bit more, you know, with a win. So, yeah.
What about somebody like Sean Strickland? That would be a solid fight. Of course, he's now going to fight Paulo Costa. But would that have been a name that interested you?
I would love that fight. You know, I got a lot of respect for Strickland. I think it would be a fun build-up. I think he would bring me out of being such a nice guy. I think we could trash talk a little bit, have some fun. So, yeah, I would love that fight. I like his style. I like that he pushes the pace. I like to push the pace. He likes to get that guys tired. So I like to test myself against a guy like that, you know.
So do you guys remember the video of Nate Diaz choking out the Logan Paul lookalike in the street? It turns out Nate is being sued over this. According to TMZ, Rodney Peterson, also known as Not Logan Paul, filed a lawsuit earlier this week. He's seeking damages for the injuries that he claims he sustained during the brawl. Peterson claims that Nate attacked him. He said that after Nate choked him unconscious, he hit his head on the concrete and claims that he suffered a head injury. The amount that Peterson is seeking is unclear. TMZ reached out to Zach Rosenfeld, Nate Diaz's longtime representative. He replied to TMZ just saying LOL. Jamahal Hill has already been booked. On X last night, the UFC announced Jamahal will be fighting Khalil Roundtree at UFC 303.
A week after UFC 300, I've accepted another fight. I will be taking on Khalil Roundtree at International Fight Week on the McGregor and Chandler card. I haven't really spoken on the fight since it happened. UFC 300 fight against Alex. How I felt in the fight, I felt good in the fight. I felt that in the fight I was doing good things. I was moving around. I felt I controlled the distance. I was controlling the position. I was controlling all the things, working through my game plan. He was pretty much only landing the body jab for the most part of the fight. I've seen some of the controversy of people speaking on the stoppage and things like that with Herb after I kicked Alex in the hip and it appeared to be a low blow. I'm just gonna say, just protect yourself at all times, you know. I just take it as a lesson learned and just grow from it from there and just understand that it's protect yourself at all times. I took no damage. Most of the fall was me falling down. I remember everything. I remember looking up, seeing his legs. I remember him coming in, trying to block, trying to reach for the underhook. He's able to land some shots and kind of throw my equilibrium off on the other side, but I was coherent the whole time, throughout and through for the most part, you know.
Jamahal says that he wants a rematch with Alex Pereira. On Instagram comments, this user said, "I just want to see the champ back in the gym. I feel like he can beat Alex if given another shot." Jamahal replied, "I'm already back in the gym with a contract signed. He definitely got to face me again, and I will put him to sleep." Another user said, "I already told you not to get closer to Alex. Don't feel comfortable, but you didn't. Even if you have to fight Alex 100 times again, with that you will get knocked out again. He was testing you and he found out that you lower your hands, and he faked trying to use his right hand and landed the left." Jamahal replied, "If y'all think me and Alex won't meet again, you're crazy. I'm definitely spinning the block again." And that's going to wrap it up for the news. Thanks for watching. For daily MMA news and content, subscribe to Full Mount MMA and click the bell icon to be notified when we post videos. Here are the 3 top comments from last video. The first one's from Gabriel. It says, "Sean's therapy dog is going to need a therapy dog." The second one's from Punjabi Piccolo. It says, "Sean saw what happened with Macy, was envious, and then manifested a conflict." And the final one says, "Sean being his usual mentally stable self." Those were the 3 top comments from last video. If you want to be featured in the next one, all you have to do is comment down below. And if you missed yesterday's news, click the video on screen right now to get caught up.